Realtree's Midwest Whitetail is brought to you by Hoyt, Heumann Tree Saws, Nikon, Ozonics, Redneck Blinds, RTP Outdoors, Spot Hog Releases, Wasp Archery, and Realtree.
This plot screen is getting to be 8, 10, 12 inches in some places, so I said I'd come update on this spot and how it's doing. It's looking good. We've had basically ideal conditions, warm weather plus sufficient rain, and this stuff's coming up quick. And today I'm actually just going to go and top dress it with some nitrogen, some urea, and really give it that extra boost so it shoots up. We got warm weather in the forecast and more rain coming tonight and tomorrow, so it should be about perfect. Get that rain down, the nitrogen get in the ground, and let this plot screen just grow as fast as possible, as tall as possible. So I'm going to start on that, and I'll show you the rest of the plot in a few minutes. I want to take a minute and talk about this property as a whole. I've showed it a few times and I've hunted it a couple times, but this farm's pretty special to me. It's basically the only piece of ground that is quote-unquote family owned that my family has, so I have a little bit more freedom to do some things on this, but it's a very small property, and for those reasons it doesn't hold a lot of deer, and actually there's a ton of hunting pressure around it, especially during the gun season. So a lot of deer get killed around here, and for that reason it doesn't have the, I guess it's not as producing when it comes to big deer, but there's a lot of mature deer that run through this property a lot, and I just like spending time out on this place and putting the work in. And if you remember back in the spring, I was on property doing some TSI, and that was this property, trying to increase the cover. So again, I mentioned it's a small property. The two main things I want to do is increase that cover and increase the amount of food, so I can, up that holding power, try to get more deer, spending more time on this farm. I talked about the plot screen along the road. Again, I'm trying to cram all this food into the little areas that I have to plant. Plot screen along the road, I got the monster magnet down the middle here, and I got the clover on that side that I'm about to spray here in a minute. But all these things working toward the same goal of trying to increase the effectiveness of the hunting on this small property and get more deer to call this place home. So third little section of this field I have in clover, and it's actually clover that my dad and I planted either 4 or 5 years ago, and really other than mowing we haven't really taken good care of it. There's a lot of grass, but there is actually, I've mowed it twice this year so far, and there is still good clover coming up in it, so it's done this job of producing every year. It just has quite a bit of competition right now with this grass, so I'm gonna get it sprayed, and hopefully that helps it do a little bit better and add a third food source to this little field. This is just a small little area. I just have a little 10 gallons of water in this tank, so I'm gonna do clethodim and a little bit of crop oil to help it stick. The clover sprayed, and the third component to this little field is the monster magnet, which is about a week and a half-ish of growth, and it looks pretty good already. You can see some of the peas coming up, the soybeans, some of the radishes and turnips in there. So it's a good variety, and it's coming up really good right now. So hopefully these weather conditions continue, and this plot keeps looking good. I'm excited about this spot. Just kind of a cool variety of food to offer different things for the deer throughout throughout the fall and into the winter. So it's looking good, and on to the next project.